So your starting position will really have to do with the body of your receiver to yours. She and I are similar height. So for me, I can be right here. I can reach everything, right? When you have a really tall client, my arms are short. I might have to be down here so that I can reach their feet. And I'm going to have to, at that point when it comes time, move up. The last thing we want to do is do some kind of crazy stuff where we're like, you know, we're always taught to not have this contact, but this contact is really comforting. Once you start receiving the work, you're like, oh, thank God, I know where you're at. I know what your intentions are. I know what you're doing. So anyway, don't be scared of that. So as we're doing this work, start with a little traction. And as we're showing you things, just know there's multiple different ways you can do everything. In the book, Robert shows this work with him up on his feet like this. Robert is super flexible. He's been how many years doing yoga? Forever. Really flexible. So, and then as Danielle and I always teach things, you'll see in the Thai Jam, we're always teaching it different ways to kind of show you guys that if this doesn't feel good, because this might kind of hurt at first sitting on your feet, this might be more comfortable to be up like this, to do just a little traction, right?
If you do something from the book, and I wrote the book from my body, which means my own flaws, mobility, strength. If you do something that we show you and you're like, this hurts, or it doesn't feel right, just raise your hand.
Yeah.
We can show you 20 different ways to do the same thing. We try to give you just a guideline and some basics to get started.
So we're gently grabbing the feet, just crossing them over one another, giving a little stretch. Give a little stretch back, opening up the feet, plantar surface. Feel free to get creative whenever you're doing this in your practice. Be on the next page. So here we'll work on the fan lines. The fan lines were photographed over here in page 12, I believe, or yeah, page 12, so you can see them, right? Those are generally the lines that I kind of follow as I'm working the feet. But you know, I always go back to, I'm feeling where her tension is, right? So if I find a little more tension in the arch, maybe I'll stay a little bit more. I like to hit the sin lines, but it's nothing that I really like intensely focus on. I'm really following where her tension is.
Working on feet.
Yeah, I'm working on her feet, you know?
It's like reductionism.
So to the rhythmic, you know, I go side to side. And when you're receiving this, it makes it easier for you to receive intense sensation. You know, we're going in, whoo, coming out. And the clients will tell you, oh, I know to just hold on because it's going to be better in just a second. When it gets intense, the waves will come. So we work these fan lines, opening up the feet. And at this point, you'll kind of have your client's feet. You'll put them where they need to go so that you can be in your spot. Since she and I are at a good height, I can come up towards her knees. And I could have been doing this whole fan lining while I'm sitting right here so I don't have to move a bunch, right? We're going to come up with palm. One thing to be aware of is some of us have really sharp palms. Apparently I do. So do be aware that even though it's a more broad surface of my hand, that it could be still too sharp for some. As we're palming here, we're getting like the edge of the gastroc, but we're getting a nice big chunk of the soleus. And same thing here. I mean, you could sit here and spend all sorts of great time just kind of exploring and warming up the area. The great thing about us being a smaller class is that we're not having to like herd cats today, you know?
Yeah.
One thing we have a problem with is everyone's always trying to give like a full session while we're learning. And so just remember, yeah, explore, but just keep in mind that we're just trying to learn these things so we can get through and, you know, not have any time constraints. So whenever I come up, I skip right here the actual knee itself, but I go right above. I do these little circles. I can feel she's a little tight above her knees. Do you ever have any knee pain?
I have torn my MCL on my right knee, and my meniscus probably doesn't exist there.
Mm. Yeah, I can feel a little tension.
What do you do with knee injuries in this position?
I would, I'd warm up and then I'd bolster your leg and just give a good compression above. I'd work, the compression right here is fantastic for relieving that knee pain, but basically I would work the tissue all around the leg to relieve that. Because it's not going to be just like your quads or just your hamstrings or just your adductors. It's basically the gang all gets together to protect, you know?